Hi everyone.
Hey everybody, I'm Blake.
And I'm Danielle, and this is the Quilt Idaho Floss Tube,
Episode 3.
Okay. It's been quite a while since our last one, but we've been busy. There's been a lot going on. If you're wondering where we are currently sitting on the deck that almost killed us at the retreat. We just got it replaced last fall. Last fall.
Yeah, last fall.
Yeah, so we have retreaters right now, so we're not in the retreat, and we didn't want to do another one in our apartment with no background, so here we are on the deck. So if you see us swatting mosquitoes, it's right about twilight time, so we're under the gun right now to do this. If you hear a humming coming on, that's the hot tub sitting next to us. We have a hot tub here. So upcoming stuff at the retreat.
Yeah, so we are in our full retreat season right now. So, and the weather is finally awesome up here. It's like what, 70?
Low 70s.
Yep,
Yeah.
low 70s and all that. But we got some good retreat groups coming up in June, and then in July and August we just opened up some new Bring a Friend retreat opportunities. So I think like, I don't know, 4 or 5 or there could be 6. It's hard to say, but I would just check out the website quiltidaho.com and then click on the link for our individuals retreats, and you can see the exact dates that we have them posted. But they're 3-night retreats. You bring a friend, select a room. I guess you select a room first, and then you know if you can bring 1 friend or 2 friends, because the room sizes are based on either double occupancy, or we have one room that is triple occupancy. So but yeah, if you're interested in coming up and want to check out a retreat and don't want to organize a big group, this is a great opportunity. And like I said, it's 3 nights. Bring a friend, open sew, craft. There's no theme or instructor or anything like that. And
yeah, the details are on the website. So
yep.
Got a lot of good feedback of people wanting to do that this year. So hoping it works out. So what have we been up to? Happy Mother's Day if you're a mom out there. It's a little bit belated, but
Happy Mother's Day.
we were doing stuff on Mother's Day.
Yep.
You want to tell them about what we did?
Yeah, Mother's Day we were down at my parents' house, and sorry, making sure that wasn't a bear, but
Say that.
we went to my parents' house, and we, meaning Danielle and I and our 2 kids, we did the hike up to Table Rock. So yeah, that was a good Sunday activity. It's like 3 miles-ish round trip, but
Yeah,
you go up like 1,000 feet, so
yeah,
it's a pretty good climb.
it's a hike I've wanted to do since we were like 18, and he kept putting it off. And so finally we did it this year, and of course it's with, you know, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old that we had to. Violet, the 3-year-old, walked up surprisingly like 3/4 of the way, and then she got tired, and so I had to put her on my back because Isabel, our younger one, who was in a backpack, like a carrier backpack the entire time, she only wants to ride in front. Like, she screams if you put her on your back, and I can't carry that much weight up front. It's too hard on my back. So Blake had Isabel, Violet was walking, I had the diaper bag, and then Violet got pooped out, so then I had to put Violet on my back, and she's a good 40-ish plus pounds, and Blake had Isabel and the diaper bag on him. So it was a very intense hike. But it was a lot of fun. I'm still really sore. Blake's not as sore. But yeah, if you're ever in the Boise area, the Table Rock hike is a really good one. So we recommend that. Yeah, so we're gonna get into the cross stitch without too much delay because there are mosquitoes coming out pretty bad. So
they be coming.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start with my current whips. It's Maynia. If you're doing Maynia, I hope you're enjoying it. We're literally about halfway through right now. And I have several whips working on. I'm usually not the type of person to purposely start new projects without finishing ones before it. I don't like doing that. So this is kind of pushing my limits a little bit, but it is fun. So I'll show you what I got going on. The first one here, this one's kind of morbid. It's kind of a sad one to start with, but my friend from grad school, her mother-in-law just died of cancer, and so I'm making one for her as a gift. So this one is you may have seen it recently. It's pretty popular. Remember Me Pin Keep by Scattered Seed Samplers. So it looks like this. Okay. Pretty gorgeous. So I'm making that for her. I'll probably make it into a little walnut shell pillow, and I might put the mother-in-law's birth and death dates on the back of it. If you know this pattern at all, you'll know I made a really big mistake while I was making it, but I wasn't going to unpick that all and go back because it was like half of what I had stitched. So, so we're improvising. So this is what I have so far. If you can't see the improv, then that's great. I think this is called Earth. It's linen. I want to say it's 32 count. It might be 36 count. But yeah, I got it off Fat Quarter Shop on one of their daily deals. So I got it like half off, which is nice. And then here's the floss that goes with it. I'm just using DMC. I've kind of resigned myself to, unless it's something really special to me, I'm probably just going to use DMC for the majority of my stuff I make for other people, because it's less expensive. And I like how smooth it is to work with. I can kind of work faster with it, and just keep the variegated stuff for myself and the silk stuff for myself. Because one, I don't know if people are gonna like variegated or not. If they don't really know what they're looking at, they might just think there's something wrong with it. And then the silk stuff's just too expensive for me to use all the time. So here's the DMCs I am using. And these are my favorite new gadgets. So these here are little acrylic floss drops that I've been purchasing off Etsy. I believe the shop it's like Crossed in USA something or other. I'll put it below in the comments, but it's a gal that makes these acrylic floss drops, and I'm kind of falling in love with them. They're gonna be my Pokemon cards. Gotta collect them all. I never really collected Pokemon cards, but I can collect these really easy. So this one's got kind of a lacy black look, which I thought was appropriate. It was Laura on the Laura and Brenda floss tube. What does it go by? You don't remember, do you? Mm-hmm. Oh, Brenda and the Cereal Starter. Okay, awesome ladies. I really like them. They're fun. Laura is the one that explained, and like I said in previous episodes, I'm a newer cross stitcher. Okay, I would call myself intermediate beginner. Okay, so I didn't really know what floss drops were or what you used them for, and she actually just explained on one of her episodes, because there was a question in the comments, that you basically put your flosses on these drops, and then you can take, so I have them pre-cut to about 18 inches right now. You take your needle and you can just pull off a single length at a time, and that way you aren't constantly dealing with all the tangles and stuff. I really like that with these different patterns of drops that I can customize matching the drop to the pattern I'm working on. So I chose kind of this gothic, looking pattern because it goes with, this being a remembrance kind of present. So that's nice too, because it helps me remember what project each floss pack goes with. So once that's done, I can reuse those drops as many times as I want to. So again, I'll put the name of the gal down below. So just helps me stay organized. So that's one of my whips going on. Hopefully to finish it sooner than later. I ordered some Lady Dot Creates pom-poms to go around the edge of the pillow, so that will look really pretty. Next whip. This one I can't tell you very much about because it's a surprise for someone and it's going to take forever to make, so I don't want to ruin it. But I can show you what I've done so far because it doesn't look like anything yet. But this is it so far. That's a couple days work, believe it or not. This fabric is, usually I write it on the back, Fox and Rabbit 36 count eucalyptus linen. Okay, and then this is all DMC. I think I had to buy like 36 different shades of brown DMC for this project. So this is one I want to get done this summer. So hopefully after Mania and I get some smaller projects done, I can concentrate on this one for a while. So that one is going to be a very cool surprise if it all works out in time. So far 2 gifts. The next one, what's in this box, or what's in this bag? I got this project bag off Fat Quarter Shop. They had it on sale. I think it was from last fall, maybe, and it was like half off, so I grabbed it because I like these ones. This one is my Me and Blake one that I've been working on. It's called, what is it called? Built on Love. Okay. I hope that's not backwards to you. It's backwards to me looking at it this way. But it's by Silver Creek Samplers, and it says, and so together they built a life they loved. So when I'm not annoyed with Blake and when he's being nice, I work on this one. I'm actually using silk for this one, so I'm trying to be careful, and I'm really liking using silk. It's so much easier to pull through. Side note, I didn't like how small the rings were on my floss drops. The ones that came with the floss drops I bought were only 2 inches, and I was trying to find ones that were a little bit larger so I'd have more space on them, and the only next size up I could find for a reasonable price were 3 inches, and the 3 inches are way too big. Like, that's huge. That is, I can wear it like a bangle if I wanted to. So I'll have to figure that out because the 2 inches are too small. Maybe I'll just have to suck it up and buy some 2.5s or something. Try to find them. But these are these are Belle Soie, so it's the classic Colorworks silk line, and I'm adjusting, or I'm converting the colors of the colors of the floss as I go, so that way I don't have to buy all the colors at once, and then I can kind of figure out what goes with what. So right now I have 4 of the colors. There's probably about 6 in the pattern. So yeah, I'll just be working on it a bit at a time. Did I already show them it? I don't think I did. So here's the project so far. So I got the text done on it. So it says, and so together they built a life they loved. And I still need to work on, there's like leaves and birds and a birdhouse and initials and a wedding date. So it's probably, I don't know, 80% done. So we're getting there. So maybe I'll work on it soon because Blake did a good Mother's Day. So, and then I'll remember that we love each other when we look at it. So put that back in there. So that one's for me and Blake. Hope I'll get it professionally framed, I think, when it's done. That way it stays good, and if the girls want it one day, they can have it. And then this one here, oh man, I think I left my biggest whip up in the apartment, so I can't show you that one. One I'm working on right now that I forgot upstairs is Honeybee Garden, which is a Real Housewives across stitch pattern, and I've gone like crazy working on it. I'm just excited about it, and I want to get it done sooner than later so I can put it up before the summer's gone. I'm probably going to put it in the retreat. It's a big one. It's gorgeous. I'm into bees right now. We call our second daughter Isabel Issa Bee, and so the bee has kind of become her unofficial mascot, her unofficial Patronus. I don't know. And then I use purple fabric on it, so it reminds me a lot of the girls. And so I'll probably put it in the retreat, and it will look lovely. So that one's been exciting. This next one I haven't started yet, but I've been working on kitting it up. We actually went to Emmett, Idaho today, which is our closest local needlework shop, and picked up some floss that I had ordered probably maybe 2 weeks ago for it. And I was actually really impressed because they were saying on Just Keep Stitching with an apostrophe, that people were having a hard time finding the floss for this project because it's kind of blowing up, because Stephanie and, my mind's blanking, what's the mom's name? Stephanie and
Pam.
Yes, Pam. It's hard for me to remember because my mother-in-law's name is Pam, so I don't think of other Pams as Pam. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. It probably doesn't. But so Pam is coming up on her 30-year anniversary of her diagnosis of breast cancer, and so she wanted to do a stitch along, a sal, to kind of honor that and remember that, and so she was inviting people to join. And so I decided I would join, partially because my cousin, who I'm very close to, is at the end of her treatments for her breast cancer. She just finished radiation a couple weeks ago. So we're hoping everything's good, but she had to do she had to have surgery, she had to do chemo, she had to do radiation. So it's been a long journey for her. So I'm hoping her the best. So I'm kind of doing this in her honor. So the pattern that Pam picked out was Praiseworthy Stitches Simple Gifts Courage. So it looks very pink in this picture. And I don't know if you've noticed, but cross-stitch pictures are usually terrible. It's like the biggest problem, I think, in the industry, because you don't realize how pretty they are till you see them in person. So it's from the Simple Gifts, what would you call that? Not line, but set of patterns that were all kind of Quaker inspired from my understanding. I've never done like a sampler. So this will be my first one. So yay, Pam. I think it starts, yeah, I think it starts in June on the anniversary date. And what I was really impressed with was, so Stephanie of Just Keep Stitching does the ordering and shipping and all that for her local needle workshop that she works for, called Keepsakes, and it's in Ohio, yeah, in Cincinnati area, if you haven't heard of it before. And so she was in charge of getting enough of these, and I guess at first she ordered like 15 because they didn't know how many people were going to join them, and then those sold out, and so she ordered like another 100. So I was really impressed that I called them, asked to get on the list for this, and it was only a couple days and I got it. So they're being really efficient about getting these out. But like I said, they aren't sure about being able to get the called for floss because there's so many people all of a sudden wanting. There's only 2 colors in this entire pattern, and one of them you need 9 skeins for. 9, okay? So if you can imagine, if you have 100 people minimum wanting 9 skeins of one color, that sells out really quickly. And I guess the dyers at Gentle Arts, it's all Gentle Arts floss, can't get enough of the base floss to dye. So there's like a lag there. So, but Keepsakes is offering a conversion. So if you call them and ask for the pattern, you can also get the floss conversion there too. But I was lucky enough that my local needle workshop, which isn't that local, it's like 90 minutes away, actually had all the floss, which really surprised me because, like I said, there's 9 skeins. So when I ordered it online and just set it for pickup, I put all 9 in there and then the 2 of the other color. And I was just hoping that maybe they would have 3 or 4 of them and it would be enough to get started and I could accumulate the other ones as they came in. But they actually had all 9. And I just, it blows my mind because I never see places with more than like 4 of a particular color, it seems. But, so this is, let me see. See, I have it all. Here's the little 2-inch ring, okay? So this is Simply Shaker, the Gentle Art Rose Garden, which is this deeper color. This is the one that it needs 9 skeins of. And then this is Tea Rose. So the names are really close too. So I was really concerned I would order too much of the wrong color. So I had to figure that out. But yeah, so I was able to get all the floss for this. Yay. I'm trying a new thing where instead of kitting out my projects right away, I'm putting the extra floss, so like I'll have 1 or 2 skeins of each color on here, and then I'm putting the rest in my stash and just pulling from it as I need, because or else I start forgetting what I have and what I don't have because it's all in different bags in different places, and so I end up not being able to find what I want when I need it. So this way, I mean, this is the only project that's going to use this floss, and if I'm running out, I'll see in my stash that I'm running out of it, right? So I'm just going to have a couple skeins at a time. That way it's not this huge thing, and put the rest in my stash in my little drawer system I'm setting up. So the only other thing working on this is I was really going back and forth about the fabric, and I even posted on Instagram to get help because I had one fabric that was more traditional and probably closer to whatever the pattern calls for. That was like that tannish antique looking. It was Heartland. I don't remember who makes it, but it was Heartland. And it was leftovers that I used from another project. I'm trying to take a break from my cross stitch shopping for a little while, but it's really, really hard, especially with the floss drops, because I want to buy all the floss drops for each pattern. Like there's a breast cancer one that I really want for this pattern, but I'm trying to work around it, but it's hard. So anyways, and then this other one was one, it's called, I don't know if it's Reese or Rise, Rhys, by Grace Notes. And this one I just had in my stash. I don't remember if I bought it for something specific or if I just bought it because it's really pretty. But I'm more of a gray than a tan kind of person. So this is 28 count linen. It's really pretty. Okay. I like it a lot. And I'm hoping I still really like it after it's stitched on with these colors. I just think they popped out a lot more than the pale yellowy ones did. Yeah, so I'm just hoping once it's stitched out that the gray isn't distracting from the pink. But I couldn't make myself use the yellower one. It just didn't fit to me, and it didn't pop out enough. And I'm not prim enough. So prim is like the style where it's very primitive looking, and so everything's kind of washed out or drab. Mm-hmm. I say that in the kindest way possible, the least offensive form of drab. And I'm just not there yet. So I like bolder stuff. So this is more me, so it's what I'm gonna do. But I'll be curious to see what people think if anyone responds to the Instagram about it. So those are my 4 big whips right now, except for the big one I have upstairs. So I'm sorry about that. I'll have to show it next time. Hopefully it won't be several weeks again. That's the hot tub. Blake just changed it today. Good job, Blake. And then let's see what else I got going on. I had one other
Mosquitoes.
Yeah, I had to finish the show. I gotta find it. One of the problems of it being weeks since the last time we did a floss tube is that the stuff has accumulated. So I have this whole box of stuff to go through, and the sun's going down, so we're gonna hurry. Oh, it's hard to hurry without it just being like a quick show and tell and actually having content. So I've been working on Home is Where the Wreath Is by the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. They're one of my favorites. And I love their floss tube. And I'm trying to keep up with the monthly wreaths and doing them a month ahead of time so that I can actually use them this year and not have to wait until next year to use them. And I'm trying not to work too far ahead, because then I'll work ahead and then I'll burn out and then I won't finish them. Like, that's just, it's taken a lot of concentration to do the wreath kind of the first week of each month for the next month. So I finished, this is June's wreath. They're little strawberries. Violet calls them straw babies. So any kind of berry now in our house is a baby. Blue babies, black babies. That sounds really strange. This is Weigart Platinum Belfast. I don't know what count that is. I don't know if it's 32 or 36. I know Belfast means it's a specific count, so I could find out if I needed to. But so this one I will get mounted up on the mounting sticky boards and put some magnets on it so it can go onto the wreath for June. So we're a little stressed out about June right now because Blake might have a work trip that he needs to go on. And so now, like, the part of me that's not shopping for things for cross stitch is panicking because I don't want to bring all my quilting stuff with me if we go, because we're going to drive and we have kids, so we need the car space for kids stuff. I don't want to bring my machine and all my like, quilting is a very bulky hobby. And so I'm panicking that I won't have what I need if we go for an extended period of time.
We'll be driving through Ohio and blah, blah, blah.
I know about my floss drops. That's what I'm most worried about.
Geez.
My floss drops. My drops.
My drops.
My drops. Okay, so
Should be
now,
fine.
here's the big reveal, okay? So, Mom, if you're watching, you can either fast forward if you know how, or you cannot. It doesn't.
Or just push stop, and this is the end of the video for you.
Anyways, so my mom has a birthday in July, so I worked on a present for her ahead of time, and it feels like forever ago, but it really wasn't. It's been a while since we did the last floss tube. So it's finally like fully finished. I've shown it off in person, so now I can show it off online and in videos. So Mom, this is your present. If otherwise, you're just gonna get it in the mail and be surprised if you aren't actually watching the video. So this is America the Beautiful by, guess who? Guess who, Babu?
Real Housewives of Cross Stitch.
It's like the one brand, if you want to call it that, of cross stitch he knows, because I watch so much of their floss tube. And I really like them because the daughter, Chelsea, is actually like my exact age, and on Just Keep Stitching, the daughter Stephanie is also my age, like within a few months. So it's fun to have stitching friends my age because up here on the mountain, there's none. So I've tried the just keep stitching Stitch Harmony thing a couple times. They either haven't seen my comment or if they've passed, maybe they're like, this is too remote for even us. But maybe one day they'll pick me. So anyways, this is the finished goods. So it's America the Beautiful. I did it on 28 count Lugana. I like the Lugana, but not as much as I like linen because the threads seemed fluffier. The fabric was fluffier, so it was harder to get the floss through, in my opinion. So, I don't know. I won't have a preference for Lugana. I'll use it for sure. I'm not super picky about what I use yet, except I know I don't like Ada. So anyways, I got pretty much all the decoration bits at Hobby Lobby during when they were first putting out their 4th of July stuff. So I bought this little table tote thing. I glued on the flowers and the little wreathy thing going around it. Have the little USA star there with the beads, the wood beads. Okay, hopefully those aren't uncool already.
Getting mosquito attacked.
Yeah, we're getting mosquito attacked. On the back, so here is the trick, right? How do you make something this vertical stand up in something this shallow? So on the back, I put this doodaddy thing, and I glued it in using one of the girls' wooden blocks, so fancy, okay, to hold up the finished piece. So it looks pretty on the back, it looks pretty on the front. I even did a little bit of beadwork in the actual stitching that I'm excited about, getting into the whole beadwork thing, all the pretty things. So this was my big hurrah. The fabric, if you can see it, is Priscilla and Chelsea's, I think it's Priscilla's Pretty Plaids. And I can't remember for sure. I think I got this lacy stuff at the Reuse Market, which is like a thrift store for
donations.
A thrift store for crafts in the area.
Yeah, for donations.
All right, so I'll put that up there. Happy birthday, Mom! Yay! Okay, so that was the big completion job there. I was gonna show you some other stuff, but we have too much to show you. That's the problem with.
Save it for the next episode.
Yeah, that was the problem with. We might get rain. That's the problem with waiting too long to do these episodes. Like, we just need to do them more regularly. Okay, so now I can show you the cool haul. I don't have to go into as much detail with those, which is nice. Okay, so various fabrics I've gotten over the last few weeks. This is that Heartland linen I was talking about. This was the other color I was thinking about for that Courage, the Courage stitch along. But I decided it with the pink wasn't me. Maybe one day it will be. It wasn't today. I got more of the Belfast Zweigart. This is the stuff I'm using for the Home is Where the Wreath Is. So I bought a big half-yard chunk so that hopefully I have enough to do all the wreaths through the end of the year, and I don't have to be stressing out about if I have the right fabric so that they match. This is one I want to say I think I got it on Fat Quarter Shop on sale. I'm not positive. I think I got it on sale somewhere. This is Seafoam 36 count linen by Weeks Dye Works. Very pretty. It was one I was actually considering using for the Sal too, but I thought the green might distract from the pink and red theme of it. And then this one is the Lugana. It's 28 count Lugana Heather by Fiber on a Whim. This is what I'm using for Honeybee Garden. So I'm sorry I don't have Honeybee Garden with me, but we'll show you next time. So it's this really pretty purple. Priscilla's kind of known for not using a lot of purple, and she finally incorporated some purple in this pattern, and everybody is excited about it. And I am so excited about it that I am making it the fabric in the background, because there's a lot of blacks, whites, and yellows as something called Honeybee Garden you would expect to have, and all those colors look beautiful on purple. So I'm going with it. Here's my giant bag of 3-inch rings. So if anybody wants to become a custodian or engineer or locksmith anytime soon, I got you set. My first and maybe only Floss Fix came in from Fat Quarter Shop. I can't remember if I canceled it or not. I go back and forth with this, how much should I spend each month on this stuff. So they're doing their flosses now by name instead of by color, so that's why it seems like random colors, is because it's in alphabetical order, which I actually prefer. Like, some people are freaking out that they aren't getting like a pretty ombre of blues anymore. I prefer it this way because you'll actually get the full collection eventually, right? You're not going to get random here's and there's where you don't really know what you have or not. Like right now I know I have the beginning of the bees. So this will be going in my drawer with all my other classic color worked cotton threads. I'm excited about that. I also got a couple Weeks dye works to replace some that I used up in my stash. So one is Cadet, and the other is I don't know how to say it. It's something that looks very Scottish to me. I have no idea. Schneckly. Schneckly. Schneckly.
Schenectady.
It's number 1223. Weeks dye works. Okay, so that will also be going in my stash. I'm so glad I can put this stuff away now and out of this box where my kids go through it all the time. This was something I've been looking at for months, maybe years, probably months, and I'm so excited about it. So some flosses come pre-cut and some don't. DMC, for example, does not come pre-cut. Weeks does not come pre-cut. And so you have to actually cut the lengths yourself, and that can get kind of tedious if you're trying to make the same length so that it hangs off those floss drops nicely and not all crazy looking. So there's this fancy tool. This is by Stacy Stitches Creative Studio. I got it off Etsy. And this is a measuring stick. And the way it works is I haven't used it yet, but essentially you put the end of your thread through here and you pinch it. You wrap your 5 or 8 yards all the way around, okay? And then you snip. And depending on what size you order, this is the 9-inch. If you do 9-inch times 2, it's going to be a 18-inch cut every time. And all the threads will be cut all at once. I don't have to like play the hand to elbow game over and over and over again. So it's got a little notch to make it easier on your scissors to pass through, so you're not damaging your scissors and you're not damaging the tool. It's this really pretty purple color. I love it. I know there's other brands. It's got their logo and everything. I don't know if it's burned or etched or what into it, but it's very pretty. The packaging was gorgeous. Like, I don't know how they afforded to do so much gorgeous packaging for one little tool. And they even sent cute little stickers. I can't show them to my kids because they'll want them, particularly Violet. Purple butterfly I'm really into. I'll probably be sticking it on one of my sewing machines. So, super excited about this. Can't wait till I use a DMC or Weeks where I need to cut the floss. Okay. More little drops I've collected. Okay, so I've been buying them with specific patterns in mind. I'm not just randomly buying the ones I like, although I am liking the ones I like, so I keep them for later. But these are ones for specific patterns I know I'm going to be working on in the future. I bought this cute, oh, sorry, everything's backwards. This cute, if you can see them, they're carrots for my Easter projects. This is the first year I've ever been into Easter. And it's because I have 2 little girls, and that's the whole reason why. And our winter was like 8 months long. So Easter was a big deal to me this year, and bunnies are a big deal to me this year. Marmots are a big deal to me this year because up here in the mountains, marmots are like the bunnies, where you know that it's springtime. The next one here, again, going with the spring theme. I used this on the Home is Where the Wreath Is for the May one, which was a daisy one. So this is all spring themed as well. There's rainbows and little flowers and little chicks and suns and bees, because I like bees. Okay. What else? You like how I have a keychain for my keychains? This one is berries. I didn't know there was one on her site that was just strawberries, so I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't buy that one. But this will still be really cool for the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, because they have tons of like farm fresh berry kind of stuff, and they have a whole strawberry thing going on for the summer months. So I'll be doing a lot of strawberry stuff. So I'll be using these for sure. And then this one, I love candy corn. I am on Team Marshmallow. I also love fondant. I just like marshmallow everything. So Team Candy Corn got this for some of her Halloween patterns that she'll be working on come this fall. So very exciting. So these are some of the drops I have now that are sitting there on weights. So
Hi, doggies are coming outside.
some of our retreaters are coming out, so they might come say hi.
Come here, Elton. Elton.
I was hoping they
Come
would.
here.
So what are you kids doing?
We're doing my floss tube. You want to come say hi?
Your what?
My floss tube. It's a cross stitch thing where it's like
Come here,
a
Elton. Elton.
Over there.
Elton.
diary kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But we talk about cross stitch and what patterns I'm working on and all that.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's
You
a
have
big
your
thing.
Computer out here?
Yep.
Elton.
You want to come say hi?
Elton.
Elton, leave her alone. My dogs are excited. Can you tell me your name again so I don't say it
I'm
wrong?
Susan.
This is Susan. She's one of our retreaters. This group is one of our regular groups. Very excited. Say hi.
Hi. And who are we talking to?
This is YouTube. This
Oh,
is the
okay.
world.
So you're doing a YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So, quick question
Yeah.
for your husband.
Yep.
It's spitting eyes at us.
Uh-oh.
And so we don't know if we should turn it off when we go to bed because we don't want ice all over the floor.
Oh, it just is randomly coming out?
Yes.
All right, I'll go.
Blake's gonna go do some technical work on the retreat.
Go. Go.
It's always the ice maker. See you later, Susan.
Bye, Danielle.
Hope to see you on a future episode
Yeah,
as a guest
I know.
star.
It's funny. This is more than our we're used to.
You guys should subscribe to it, and then you'll always know what's going on.
Right.
Lately, I've been making little beeswax thread conditioners because they're really fun to make. I got the beeswax, a huge, like 5-pound chunk of it from a local gal who has bees. And so I've started making these cute little beeswax thread conditioners to sell. There's like a honeycomb pattern and a bee pattern because that's the theme of my life right now. So if you're interested in these, I will be putting them on our Etsy and our website. When I saw how expensive they sell these for in stores, I was like, oh my God, I can make that for myself for a lot cheaper. And so I made it for myself and all of you, and I will hope to be posting it for a lot cheaper. And because it's fresh, it's really soft. Like, it's really soft, which is great because then when you pass your thread through it, it actually goes on the thread. You're not like forcing it through a dry hunk of beeswax that was made at least a year ago. So if you don't know what thread conditioner is, you can use it technically for machine sewing and all that. In this case with cross stitch, I use it, I don't use it on silk, but I use it on my cotton thread. So before I stitch the thread into the fabric, I will run the cotton thread through the fabric conditioner for a couple of reasons. One, it keeps it from tangling so much, which is nice. Two, it keeps them from like frizzing up so much and getting snaggly as I'm working it. And it also adds a little bit of slip as it goes through the fabric. So if you think of doing, 2,000 stitches at a time, say, that's repetitive motion. So a little bit more ease on each of those 2,000 times is going to save your hand and your arm a lot of work. So that's what I use it for. I also use it in quilting when I'm doing hand binding. I'll run my threads through it before I hand bind for the same exact reasons so that it's easier to move through and it doesn't get as snarled. So keep an eye out for these. I'll probably be selling them in 2-packs just to make it a little more economical for myself. But yeah, I got to work out the pricing because Etsy and all that, you get charged for like tons of fees and stuff. So you have to price things with that in mind. Okay, so I'm working on it. I love making them. They're fun. They smell delicious because they're fresh. Okay, other things. This is just a box of tiny little baggies like this for me to bag stuff up in. If you know me, I'm not a big fan of plastic, so I have to have very strong intentions to buy something that's just plastic for the sake of plastic like that. I reuse a lot of my bags. If you ever get a order from me and it's like, oh, why is this cross-stitch pattern sitting in a bag that looks like it's for a nightshirt? It's because I reuse my packaging a lot to reduce plastic. So it's not because I'm trying to be cheap or anything like that. I'm just trying to, be a good citizen of the earth, call it. All right, I'm going. It's getting dark. I think we're gonna get stormed on. Okay. One of my patterns that I bought came with this cool freebie. I can't show it to you because it's the actual chart and I wish they had a picture of it, but it's A Rose is a Rose is a Rose by La Di Da Rose Freebie, or that's what's called, La Di Da Rose Freebie. And they sent it as a thank you for one of the charts I bought as a little extra. Here's some other ones I got. This one is not what I would ever have as my style any given day of the week ever. I'm not a big, like, you'll see it in a minute. It's Silver Creek Samplers Give Greatly, but it's the sentiment of it and like the picture of like expressing that sentiment meant a lot to me. So I like to give. It's one of my problems actually with my spending is I give away stuff too much. It says your greatness is not in what you have, but what you give. And it's this adorable rabbit giving a carrot to a snowman to use. So
I
hope you can see it.
if anybody can see her anymore. 'Cause
You can hear them talking about me back there.
yeah.
We're hurrying. Why don't you turn on the light, babe? Turn on the outside light. Okay, so next one is Homespun Elegance. This is annual sampler. This one reminded me of my mom, so I'll probably make it for my mom at some point, sometime for Christmas. So mom, if you're here, surprise. It is called Come Home. I actually got her, my mom likes birds a lot, especially cardinals. I think red's her favorite color. Blue might be her favorite color, but red's definitely up there. Years and years ago, like when I was in college, I got her a platter that had a cardinal and it said something along the lines of all of roads come home at Christmas, and coming home has kind of been a thing with me and her because I live in Idaho and she lives in Wisconsin, and so coming home is always a big deal, especially now that I have kids. So it says come home to comfort and joy, and it's this cute little ornament pillow thing with a cardinal and a house.
Tweet, tweet.
Tweet, tweet. So maybe I'll make it for her tree. Sometimes I feel like a little kid because I'm at the age now where there's nothing I can buy my parents that they don't already have themselves or can't buy for themselves. So I make them things. So I feel like, like I'm 7 years old again, but I make stuff that they can't make for themselves. So that helps. And then finally, this one is a recent release from, who are my favorites? One of my favorites.
Real Housewives of Cross Stitch.
Yes. They will be a go-to for me for a long time, I think.
Where's the floss tube?
They have a floss tube, and they design patterns.
No, but is it the Real Housewives of Floss Tube or Cross?
No, cross stitch.
Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes people refer to them as stitching with the housewives, which I'm not sure when you use when. I think one's associated more with like their fat quarter shop stuff, but I don't know for sure. So this is God Bless America. Oh, good. It's really cute with the house. I love the house and the fence and the flowers going up it. I don't know exactly. I might change the phrase. I'm not a very religious person, so I might change the phrase. I just don't know what I want to change it to. I would probably normally put America the Beautiful because that's kind of more my, if you don't see what's behind us, America is beautiful. I'm more of a nature person. So I might change it to that. I just did an America the Beautiful thing, so I don't know if I want to or not. But then again, this other America the Beautiful thing is going to Wisconsin, and I'll probably see it once a year. So maybe I'll do it anyways. This one was a cool find. I don't even remember where I found it. Maybe on eBay, maybe somewhere else. This is from the 70s, okay? I am not a 70s kind of person, but when I saw the front cover, I had to have it. And apparently, it was written by Gloria Steele, who I don't know who that is, so if that's someone famous, I'm sorry for not knowing who you are. I'm still relatively new. And Pat Carson. Pat Carson I know is famous because she makes the needles that no one can get anymore because they don't make them anymore. The Pat Carson needles. If you have Pat Carson needles, I would love to take them off your hands. They probably sell for like $30 a pack now. And it's very sad because I literally bought a pack to try when I was first getting back into cross stitch, and then they stopped making them. So I got them just enough of them to find out I love them, and I have no stash of them. It's very sad. But when I saw the mouths on these kids in this book, look at that. Look at these carolers. Look at their mouths. I was so delighted. And I'm going to make these for something. I don't know if I'm going to make them for Christmas cards for people or what, but I could not get over this. So this is from 1973, I think. Like everything's in black and white. I can't show you too much of the pattern. Some of it's in color. There's like little sleepy time kids. I don't like all the patterns, but I like half of them, I'd say. And that's pretty good. because some of them are just kind of 70s scary to me. This one's like a Little Miss Muffin Top kind of thing. Not my jam. There's an alphabet in it.
I feel raindrops.
Oh God. Okay, we're hurrying. We're hurrying. We're hurrying. There was another one I really liked. Another Carolers. I can't show you to it because it's the pattern.
But their mouths are...
Their mouth. So, the Carolers, man, they're what got me. They really are. I'm in love. And then there's this cute, adorable black mother and son. I'll cover up the pattern as best I can. From the 70s, and you can tell because of the little froze. Look how cute that is. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. There's a little drummer boy. I'm in love. And then, on the very end, they have a little demo of how to make cross stitch into a patch for clothing. I had no idea how to do that. Now I have a little description of how to do it, and I'm super excited. Okay, it's getting darker. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Okay, we're getting to the end.
Saving some of this for the next episode.
There's more scattered around everywhere. Okay, so hopefully my abstinence of spending won't make the next YouTube like 5 minutes long, because that'd be terrible. Okay.
Let's have more projects completed.
Yes. So the next one I got off eBay, maybe Etsy, but it was some kit from sometime when, but it had purple thistles, which are my favorite, and a bunny, which is a big deal to me this year. And it's a kit with the floss and the fabric and the pattern. I'm probably not going to use the fabric because it's Aida and I don't like Aida, but I'm trying to find a fabric that's got the same look to it. I think I found one in Lugana, so it's going on my wish list for this specific pattern. Okay, look at this. Okay, it's called the Meadow. Look at that.
I think we're running out of light.
I know. Look. Oh, Blake, it's like campfire out here, man. We should have cross stitch tubes by campfire. But the nose in the air, and the big eyes, and the big ears, and the thistles, and the dots, I can't get over it.
All right.
I am so in love. It's by
There's
Rendale
the
Design.
coyotes.
We do have coyotes out here. And then finally, this one was also very sentimental for me. It is called Mr. and Mrs. Abbott and Daughters. I got it because the picture of the mom with the 2 little girls hit home. There's also a dad with 1 little girl. I don't know if I'll make that one or not. I'm sure Blake will want his version of it, but we have 2 little girls, so I don't know how to either get rid of the little girl in his and have us all 4 together, or somehow add the 2 little girls to his so that he has one with the 2 girls. I don't know. But look at that.
Point and showing it so we can see it.
He's the most helpful tech producer ever. So there's the mama with the 2 girls. There's my Issa and my Violet. And then the daddy with 1 girl. So cute. So cute. Okay, we're gonna have to stop now. There's no way I can finish this.
Well, that's episode 3, folks.
Yeah, it's gonna thunderstorm. There's mosquitoes and coyotes, so we're gonna head out.
And there was like a giant something. I don't know what that was, but I'm out of here. So
if you're in the Boise, if you're in the Boise area, Nampa Modern Quilt Guild, which is my like home heart quilt guild, they are having a craft yard sale fundraiser event June 3rd in Nampa at First Christian Church across from Albertsons on 12th. So be there or be square. Come help support the guild. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.